Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Are we up? Yeah.
We are up for a really great philosophical discussion today.
Yes, indeed.
We have a question from one of the members of the community that came in today, and I think it's a great philosophical question.
It is.
So
very good question.
I'm going to read it because it's a little long, but that's good. If the subconscious has no sense of time, why do we change childhood memories?
Such a good question.
And why not focus on a great future instead?
Right. Yes, very good question. And I know that she's not alone in that. So the truth is, the subconscious doesn't have a concept of time the way the conscious mind does. So as far as the subconscious is concerned, it has no sense of time. It doesn't age. And so why would we then go back and change childhood memories if the subconscious has no concept of time?
Timeline.
Time. Yeah. Time in general.
No sense of linear time. Is that?
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic. Let's just say a sense of time. Okay, so it doesn't get older. It doesn't have a sense of
I didn't mean
timing
to
and
make
age.
anything more confusing.
So the answer is the fact that the subconscious doesn't have a sense of time is exactly why we do need to change childhood memories. Because as far as the subconscious is concerned, everything is happening now. Okay, so there's nothing in the future, there's nothing in the past. So it means that everything you experienced as a child that is significant, that has a bearing on who you are and how the world works, as far as the subconscious is concerned, is happening right now. So that's exactly why we do need to change it. Now there's that, and then the second part of this is that the subconscious prioritizes information from experiences whenever they happen to you in order of survival, in order of their reference or their significance to survival, because the top priority of the subconscious is to keep you alive and safe. So in addition to the fact that as far as the subconscious is concerned, everything you've ever experienced, everything it's collected is happening right now. If you imagine a Google search, right? So you've done a Google search, and Google's algorithm will arrange the results according to SEO, search engine optimization. Thank you. Yeah, and that the sort of the factors in that algorithm will depend on what the people who created it believe to be the most important factors that the person is looking for. So in other words, somebody's looking for, you do a search, and that algorithm kicks in and goes through all of the websites and goes, these are the top ones on the front page. Your subconscious does the same kind of thing, except that instead of that algorithm, it has its own algorithm, and that is designed according to what is most important, the most important data to keep you alive. Now, it makes absolutely no sense to the conscious mind necessarily, because the subconscious has no ability to use logic or reason in the way the conscious mind does. So if you imagine an algorithm that is designed to randomly throw together links, so, squirrel, death, let's put those together. It'll depend on what experience you had as a child and how your subconscious interpreted it, and then it brings those up. It'll bring up the top selections. The front page of your Google will be, at the top will be anything that the subconscious considers essential to survival, which means it's keeping you in alignment with your tribe. It's keeping you the same as you've always been. So maintaining the status quo, and anything else it considers important to your survival. And in addition to that, anything you've used recently. So, frequently and recently.
So the top 10 pages on your Google
on your
search.
Google search, right? So, and no, obviously nobody's search results are going to be the same because of that. So if you think about it, the subconscious, although it has no, because I understand the question, if there's linear time, if you're thinking of time, we were there and we're now here, and the subconscious doesn't have a sense of time, then the subconscious is here. So why is it concerned with what happened back there? But in addition to not having a sense of time, the subconscious is also constantly taking in information, interpreting it, and filing it in order to keep you alive. So if it didn't do that, if the subconscious didn't have a sense of time in the way you're thinking, like, well, we're here now, so what does the past have anything to do with it? You wouldn't remember who you are. You wouldn't remember anything. So the subconscious has to, because the conscious mind isn't enough to remember everything. Obviously, it doesn't have enough RAM, or what you call it, storage or whatever. So the subconscious has a record of what everything from when you were born. It has a record of how it interpreted all of your experiences, and every new experience is filtered through that information and added to the structure of who you are and how the world works. But because it has no sense of time, it prioritizes it as if it's all right now.
Yeah, and it's a great explanation. I know for me, I needed to slow that down just a little bit.
Sorry.
So, first of all, I just wanted to back it up a little bit, that the conscious mind, the conscious mind is what holds the concept of linear time.
Right.
So when we think of a timeline, it's our conscious mind trying to make sense of all the data, and it's putting it in order of how we think it,
right,
how we think it occurred.
Yeah.
So we are consciously trying to make sense of all of that. The subconscious, however, just understands everything is happening right now.
Yeah. Correct.
So we're experiencing some situation in our life right now, and it is accessing all of the data, all of the memories that we're holding back there, and
as if it's
everything that happened back then is happening right now.
Correct. And it prioritizes it not the way the conscious mind does in order of when it happened. It prioritizes it according to how important is this to survival.
Right. So it's sifting through all of that data, and the piece of information that is linked to survival, or what's going to keep us safe in the moment, is what becomes the most important piece of information.
Which is why we don't need to think about how to eat, or how to run, or anything like that, because that's top of the Google search, because it's something, number one, that is important to our survival, and number two, we use it frequently.
And if you went to your Google search and you typed in the letter A, Amazon would automatically come up. It's because it's what's being used all the time. It's what's there.
But above that is survival. So you may be using positive affirmations all the time, but if let's say you're using I'm wealthy all the time, okay, but the priority, because the priority is survival, the fact that you're using unwealthy all the time, if your subconscious contains proof that you would be in danger if you had money, because maybe it goes against what you were taught as a child, or it would take you too far away from your tribe, or whatever it is, that will be the top priority.
Yeah.
Because survival is the most important thing.
Yeah. Dina puts in a comment, says interpretation is really important in that. My 6-year-old granddaughter told me the other day that she felt bad that mom spent all of her money on her and now can't have a house. So yeah, memory really is about interpretation.
Yeah.
It records data, but it really is recording the interpretation of that data.
Correct. Yes. And that interpretation is based on whatever else is in there already.
Mhm.
So you're gathering information all the time, and then all that new information is being filtered through what's there and then added to it.
Mhm.
So hopefully that answers your question.